My name is Chloe Grant, and this is my paper slide project for the book Prisoner of Night and Fog by Aaron Blankman. This is an alternate book cover that I drew. The Nazi flag with the broken spots to cut and blood dripping off it represents how the main character Gretchen slowly breaks away from her National Socialist roots as she uncovers more and more about her father's death. The Star of David in light blue background represent the hope and strength she finds in Daniel, a young Jewish reporter. The story takes place in 1930s Munich, Germany. Gretchen Muller is Adolf Hitler's sunshine. Her father is a martyr after having been killed in the putsch. After defending a Jew and learning from Daniel, a young Jewish reporter, that her father's death was a murder, she wants the truth, and through all her searching, she falls in love with Daniel, making her question everything she's ever been taught about the Jews. Her brother is a constant threat, and she has to try and stay clear of any danger that he might inflict. In the end, she uncovers that Uncle Dolph murdered her father because he knew that he had been diagnosed a psychopath, and Hitler needed to make sure no one else found out. So Gretchen and Daniel must flee because they know Hitler's secret has been discovered, and Hitler has a very bad temper. In regards to good and evil in this story, Gretchen Muller, Daniel, her Jewish reporter friend, and Alfred Whitestone are the main protagonists. The antagonists are Uncle Dolph, who's Adolf Hitler, Gretchen's brother Reinhard Muller, and Ernest Röhm. The conflict is that Gretchen's two main enemies are Adolf Hitler, a man who's been a second father to her but has a dark secret, and her brother Reinhard, who beats her and has crazy mood swings. They're both diagnosed psychopaths who Gretchen realizes are more monster than man. The two scenes that stood out to me were Jelly's death and Reinhard's beating. Towards the end, just before Gretchen can warn her friend Jelly, Hitler's niece, about who their uncle really is, she ends up dead. They say it was a suicide, but all the clues it gives you lead you to think that maybe Hitler has another victim. It makes you wonder how someone can be so extremely insane that they would kill family, especially because it was thought that Hitler was in love with her. For Reinhard's beating, growing up in a safe home, it's hard to imagine a family member, someone who's supposed to love you, hurt you tremendously. But Gretchen is terribly injured by him, and yet her own mother doesn't think once about making him leave. Comparing the two from historical fiction and historical fact, fiction, Hitler murdered Klaus Muller in the putsch and was saved because the stumbling took extra bullets aimed at him. The fact is that Hitler was protected in the putsch by another man, but it was Ulrich Graf, and he was pulled down by Max Schubert-Richter. Fiction is that Gretchen Muller was the adopted daughter of Hitler and was his sunshine, and that Klaus Muller knew of Hitler's psychopath diagnosis. Also, the Muller family and the murder were completely fictitious. But the fact is that Eva Braun, Gretchen's friend in the book, did actually become Hitler's mistress. Hitler was labeled a hysteric in place of a special ward during the First World War, and all of Hitler's inner circle from the book were real men. In both the book and in history, Hitler's only love was believed to be his half-niece Angela or Jelly Robel. The Munich Post was a real newspaper and was made up of brave reporters who inspired Daniel's character. And finally, what this book taught me about history is I think one of the biggest things about history that I can take away is the sense of how corrupt the Nazi Party really was. Some of them were literally insane, and it was led by violence not only to non-Aryans, but to make sure no one opposed them. It gave me a stronger view of how that made Germany follow them.